The only light in the workplace comes from my computer screen, which is icy and frigid, outside my corner suite's glass walls. Annapolis is asleep at this late hour, as if anticipating the catastrophic discovery that would rock the world. My fingers twitch and droop over the keyboard. Olivia Bennett here, 36 years old, and the chief financial officer of a software business on the rise. During the day, I ensure the ship's stability by crunching data and wooing investors. As the sun goes down, I become Daniel's wife. I fell in love with Daniel 12 years ago among the oak trees on Georgetown University's campus, where his laughter brought a comforting sense of home. After 12 years, all 6 of them tied the knot. I was under the impression that we were impregnable, yet here I am gazing at an email that is shattering my entire universe. I am not even the intended recipient. Daniel made the naive error of leaving his work account open on my laptop. Despite the seemingly benign subject line, "Weekend Plans," the identity of the sender, Sophia Reynolds, stabs me like a needle. A project manager at a client's business was mentioned by Daniel, but other than that, I don't really know who she is. As I click, my heart thuds with a hard rhythm. "Chestnut this weekend, honey," were the words that landed like a blow. The red wine, the pearl necklace, and everything else I love are must-haves. I feel as if I've swallowed glass as my breath hitches, as if I were counting the hours. Bayou State, our dwelling, the bay home where I fantasized about our children playing in the lawn while we danced barefoot to jazz. She is going with him. As my shaking hands scroll, the situation worsens. The attached paperwork shows that our company's expense account paid the Bayfront Inn a sum of $2,000 for a deluxe room, my business. I fought for this one, staying up till the crack of dawn to balance the accounts, all the while Daniel's easy grin won over clients. His infidelity goes beyond that in order to pay for this. He is taking from me and from us, not from crying, but from an odd icy clarity. My eyesight blurs. I am not surprised. It's official. I had disregarded the symptoms for months. I'll never forget Daniel's late-night client dinners, the way he changed his password last spring and his phone glued to his hand. Even though we're in our own house, his once brilliant eyes now flit past me as if I were an outsider. After 12 years, everyone feels the effects of stress, so I told myself that was it. "Don't be overly worried, Olivia," I'd mutter under my breath as I ignored her concerns. I want to yell at that innocent woman right now as I stare at Sophia's words. "Stop being stupid. Your gut feeling isn't the truth anymore. It's peering at me from my screen, illuminating it." The leather beneath my feet creaks as I sink into my chair. As my thoughts race, the workplace remains eerily quiet. At this very now, I could confront him, barge into our bedroom, and throw the laptop at him. But Daniel is sound asleep, perhaps daydreaming about her, his black hair unkempt on the pillow, as it was during his undergraduate days. No, he will not have the gratification of seeing me crumble if I give in to him. At this time, no. I begin to dig with calm hands. There is a paper trail if he is spending business money. Plus, I have excellent trail-following skills. With a rapid tap of my finger, I access the financial dashboard. Hidden among miscellaneous expenses are $10,000 spread out over 3 months. Small but regular unlawful transactions. Making reservations for hotels, a jewelry store in Baltimore, and first-class flights to places we've never been together. The memories of our vows, laughing, and his eternal commitment to me are sliced to pieces with each transaction. The steady hum of the printer helps me focus while I print the records. Sophia isn't the only one involved. Every level is a betrayal. A sudden buzz from my phone startles me. Daniel sends a text message that reads, "Late meeting tomorrow, don't wait up." I keep staring at the message, my thumb curled up over the reply. Perhaps I should act the part, continuing to portray myself as the naive wife. "Sure," is what I type instead. "Keep comfortable. The weather outside is cold." If I could speak, my voice would be robotic and lifeless. Nothing happens once I push send. Where there was once love, now there is only emptiness. I go to Sophia Reynolds' LinkedIn profile. A professional photo of a 39-year-old woman with a bright grin and a job as a project manager for a construction company appears in her profile. Based on her posts, she is married. In Baltimore, I come into her spouse, Ethan Caldwell, who is a bridge engineer. A man with nice worn features and weary eyes appears in his portrait. Would he be aware? Does this identical jolt hit him when he's alone? With my palms damp from perspiration, I compose a message. "Hello, Ethan. My name is Olivia Bennett. My spouse, Daniel Bennett, and Sophia Reynolds, your wife, are involved in my opinion. I have evidence. Might we have a conversation?" I pause for a second before sending. Time has flown by since midnight. Tonight I will not sleep. Mental images of the bay home with its wood exterior and huge windows framing views of the placid waters of the Chesapeake come to me. We purchased it 5 years ago, envisioning weekends away and constructing a life. A platform for his deceit, it is now corrupted. However, I will not allow him to alter our narrative. Daniel is mistaken if he believes he can sneak away with her while I sit here oblivious drinking wine. My name is Olivia Bennett. I remain unbroken. I construct, and I'm formulating an approach. This goes beyond merely apprehending things. The story is around taking back what is rightfully mine and confronting the man who deceived me while staring me down. "I'm counting the hours," Sophia said in her email. "Oh, I see. The early sun mercilessly slices through my workplace blinds, but that's for a completely other reason. While I did manage to get a few hours of sleep, it was only while hunched over my desk with the printed financial documents firmly grasped in my hand. The bitterness of my coffee complements the pain in my chest, so I drink it even though it's cold. Hello, my name is Olivia Bennett, and I just learned that my husband Daniel is involved in an extramarital affair. He's taking money out of my business to pay for his and her antics. The sum of $10,000 fell into the category of miscellaneous expenses, and every cent of it seems like a broken promise, like a piece of the life we created side by side crumbling away. I ought to be furious breaking dishes or contacting legal representation. I, on the other hand, am as tranquil as the Chesapeake Bay just before a storm rolls in. Ignoring the late hours, the new password, and the way he shies away from my touch, I have trusted Daniel for 12 years. All the uncertainties I pushed to the back are gradually rising to the surface again. I've had enough of playing dumb. I am capable of locating any trail. I will begin with the financial aspect. As I delve into the company's financial system, my laptop hums. The CFO here knows just where the shadows are hiding. Cleverly classified as client entertainment or travel. The transfers are spread out and don't tally up. $500 here, $1 and $200 there. Travel tickets to Miami from Baltimore, a receipt from a jewelry store for a pearl necklace, and Daniel's deposition as a witness at a conference in Washington, D.C. As I compare dates, my hands shake. Each business trip coincides with a departure. Late hours weren't his thing. Her companion was he. Once again, I access Sophia's LinkedIn profile. With an air of flawless self-assurance, her smile taunts me. We have never collaborated with Harbor Construction. Although they are our project manager, why did she choose her? What does she possess that I am lacking? I dismiss the idea, telling myself it's a trap and that I will not fall for it. Rather than that, I look for her husband, Ethan Caldwell. His bio is modest. He is 42 years old, a bridge engineer working in Baltimore. A communal endeavor to upgrade Annapolis's crumbling infrastructure is the subject of his most recent piece. His expression is one of stability, firmly established, the type of guy who is also unworthy of this. Ethan has yet to respond to my mail. Therefore, it remains in my sent folder. No response when I double-check my phone. Perhaps he believes I'm insane, the paranoid spin doctor of a disillusioned wife. I am aware of what I observed, though. I send him the email concerning Chesapeake that Sophia sent along with a hotel receipt that is associated with Daniel's identity. Typing, "This is real," is what I do. A number that begs to be dialed, 412-5555-9876, appears on my desk. With my heart pounding in my ears, I press submit and wait. It is now after 9 o'clock in the workplace. My marriage is falling apart. Just when I should be getting ready for a board meeting, Daniel shoots off another email this time with a proposal for a customer. He casually adds, "Need your input, Liv," as if he didn't spend last night messaging her on the phone. My thumb twitches as I fixate on his name. "Keep up the good work," I could respond. In its place, I file it away and delve farther. I saw a new transaction, $3,000, going to a private account with the title consulting fee. The thing is, there is no such thing as a consultant. A shell firm formed in Sophia's name is associated with the account number, which I am able to track. A knot forms in my gut. No, this is more than an affair. It is purposeful and well planned. Is my job going to help them plan a future together? Despite the agony, I press on printing every record and constructing a case. I will play it wiser if Daniel wants to be filthy. I jump as my phone starts to ring. Daniel isn't the one. Ethan is. "Oliva, where are you? Ethan Caldwell here. I received your message," he says, with a deep, steady voice that reveals a little break, as if he were trying to keep himself together. "Is this a joke or what?" I mutter, "I wish it was," as my voice cracks open. Documentation such as emails, receipts, and bank transfers is kept by me. Chesapeake is where Daniel and Sophia will be meeting this coming weekend. Our waterfront home. Apologies for the lengthy silence. According to Sophia, she is now at a business conference. She even texted me a good night, he says, and his laughter is empty and cruel. "What are you holding?" "Enough," I declare. Everything from hotel reservations to flights and jewelry was paid for by my company's account. Additionally, Daniel is utilizing a shell account that has Sophia's name on it. "This is more than a casual affair, Ethan." Sharp was his exhalation. "This must be seen by me. Would you be interested in meeting? The Daily Grind is a cafe on Charles Street in Baltimore. Tomorrow at noon. Whatever you need, I will bring it." "Okay," he murmurs softly. The connection abruptly terminates, leaving me all alone. Once again, the burden of what lies ahead weighing heavily on me. For the following hour, I verify each and every email and transaction. The farther I delve, the more hideous it becomes. I spent $800 on a meal in Miami while I ate leftovers by myself at home. 2 people's spa treatments the day after Daniel kissed me farewell and expressed his feelings of missing me. Although I don't bleed, each revelation is a wound. It's over now. Right now, I'm constructing armor. The noon arrives quickly. Espresso and freshly baked bread waft around the daily grind, but I can't bring myself to eat since my stomach hurts. I place my hefty folder of evidence in my bag and choose a booth in the corner facing the door. At 12 minutes before the top of the hour, a towering, broad-shouldered man wearing a brown coat, flecked with fallen leaves, enters the room. His weary but piercing gaze lock onto mine. I transfer the folder from one table to the other while he remains silent. If you want to begin with Sophia's email, I suggest you start here. As he reads, his jaw clenches and his fingers firmly grasp the pages. Hotel's airfare and the pearl necklace's receipts follow. Next funds will be sent to the shell account held by Sophia. He becomes more stern as the pages turn. While staring at a picture of Sophia's text message that reads, "Miss, you can't wait for Chesapeake," he mutters, "I thought it was just work." I say, "I know," at a lower volume than usual. I convinced myself that Daniel was simply anxious. However, it isn't stress. You get to decide. Ethan rubs his face as he leans back. "So what's your plan?" I maintain eye contact with him. Tomorrow night they will travel to Chesapeake. What do you think I propose we meet them there? Stay calm and not get angry. All it takes is for them to see the truth and us. He takes a while to respond. His fists tighten then loosen. At last he says, "I'm in." I insist on knowing every detail though. If Sophia is involved with this money, it goes beyond a personal matter. I call it fraud. I give a little nod, feeling a twinge of reverence. A betrayed spouse isn't the only thing he is. The glue that keeps things together is important to him, and he is the type of man who creates bridges. Next, we will delve further, I state, by our side. At the cafe, we spend an hour looking over the proof. A building invoice associated with Sophia's business seemed curiously nebulous, but Ethan's keen eye caught it. "This isn't right," he remarks, his engineer's mind playing tricks on him. The bid for the bridge project in Annapolis is being submitted by her firm. Given that they're taking shortcuts, then it's more significant than any of us, I conclude. All thoughts are racing through my head. I'm hurting all over because of Daniel's treachery. Every day, actual people cross that bridge, and it might injure them. The idea grounds me and provides direction. Before Daniel and Sophia come, we agree to meet at Chesapeake tomorrow morning. To find out if Sophia's company is hiding anything more, Ethan will review his own records. I will continue to investigate the funds. I can just make out the shimmer of the bay's murky waters as I make my way back to Annapolis. As he sneaks out with her and laughs behind my back, Daniel believes he's unstoppable. Something about me, though, is going to slip his mind. The truth doesn't merely appear to me. People can't help but notice me. Driving toward Chesapeake Bay, I can barely make out the Annapolis skyline in my rearview mirror. The road is lined with golden maples, and I can almost feel the first signs of fall. Despite my solid grasp on the wheel, I'm a hurricane on the inside. At the Bay home we formerly shared, my name is Olivia Bennett, and in 24 hours I will confront my husband Daniel and his mistress Sophia Reynolds. I discovered evidence of his theft from my firm last night, which amounts to thousands of dollars, which he uses to finance his affair. On the other hand, Sophia's construction business is involved in something sinister. Her husband, Ethan Caldwell, is on board with me, and the two of us are going to expose a far larger falsehood than we had anticipated. At a petrol station outside of Annapolis, where we had arranged to meet, Ethan's silver vehicle waits. His face reflects the same restless determination as mine as he steps out, his brown coat rustling in the breeze. "Are you satisfied? Are we planning a heist?" he says, his voice low. Patting my purse, I give a nod. Documents such as bank records, emails, and receipts. A USB drive is displayed by him. Sophia's files for her projects. They were on her laptop, and I took them last night. He looks at me with weary but alert eyes, and I can tell something is wrong with her company's bridge proposal. This has expanded beyond just them at this point. With an air of serious intent, we get into my car and go to the Bay home. I'm a chief financial officer who finds flaws in numbers, and Ethan is a bridge engineer who builds things that last. Not by friendship, but by the sharp edge of betrayal, do we become an unstoppable force. My eyes go over to him, and I notice that he is staring rigidly out the window. "Are you in good form? I wonder," I say. He adds, "Been better," in a gruff voice. Emma sent me a text message earlier today, claimed to be networking at the conference. It nearly happened again. I trusted her. The burn of my own recollections makes me swallow. Last night, Daniel sent a text message that read, "Client dinner back late." It was a transparent lie. "They feel they're immune to harm," I remark. "They made a mistake." In the early light, the Bay house with its cedar walls illuminates, and beyond it the tranquil waters of the Chesapeake Bay are visible. A knot forms in my chest. Here in this sacred space, Daniel and I exchanged vows of eternal love, laughed over wine, and plotted our future. Their performance has been tarnished by Sophia's communications concerning expensive jewelry and red wine. We go inside as I park, and the air is calm and chilly. I bury my recollections of the pine and salty air in the living room. As I place my suitcase on the sturdy wood table, I remark, "We get here first. Emails, bank transactions, and everything else is laid out for you. As soon as they step in, the truth will be out." Nodding, Ethan looks around the room. "Stay calm and collected. Just the two of us, plus the proof," he says, pausing as he brushes the table. "This is Sophia's favorite spot. She insisted it was her escape, but I should have guessed it wasn't for me." Words fail me when it comes to responding. I make a quick gesture by brushing against his arm, and then I begin to unload. Paper correspondence, bank documents, and the $3,000 sent to Sophia's alias account. From Harbor Construction's bridge project, Ethan has included his papers, which include drawings and cost reports. Carefully and damningly, we arrange them like a trial exhibit. As a prop in our truth, the 4 wine glasses on the table are a reference to Daniel's ostentatious taste. As he furrows his brow, Ethan scans through his files. "Check this out," he adds, gesturing toward a financial spreadsheet. The materials used in the bridge bid low-grade steel with just half of the reinforcing that was needed. They're trying to undercut their competition by taking shortcuts. With my CFO mind working overtime, I tilt in closer. That is more than just careless. It might be harmful. Thinking about the people that cross that bridge every day. Commuters and families, I start to ramble, but then I stop. A knot forms in my gut. To what extent is Sophia engaged? Ethan adds in a harsh voice, "Her name's on every approval." She's doing more than that. A month ago, she emailed Daniel writing, "The bid's locked, she's hiding it." He locates the email and shows Daniel the message. I feel sick to my stomach if the payments aren't made public. Their affair isn't the only thing Daniel is helping underwrite. He's implicating my business in a fraudulent operation that might cause harm to others. This changes everything. I declare, maintaining a calm tone despite the boiling anger within. Their affair isn't the only thing we're revealing. This will not proceed any further. We will end it now. As we lock gazes, I get a hint of consensus from Ethan. The construction of the bridge is open to the public. Her company, along with Daniel's, will be destroyed if we bring this before the municipal board. Nodding, my thoughts race. First, we provide them with the proof of the incident. Presume that is our complete knowledge. After that, we'll use this to attack them. I open the bridge files. It will sneak up on them. For the following hour, we set up the space as if it were a theater of truth, getting everything ready. My fingertips rest on the table's roughness as I wipe it off, bringing back the memory of Daniel, engraving our initials here all those years ago. Ethan bitterly lays out the bottle of wine, claiming it to be Sophia's favorite. We turn on the lighting, casting a gentle amber light that helps everyone's features stand out. An orderly stack of files contains a ticking time bomb. Do you have any idea how they'll respond? As I slump into a chair, tomorrow's burden weighing me down, I ask. Leaning on the counter, Ethan crosses his arms. Sophia would act victim and weep. Dan, he's more polished. In an effort to escape, he may even try to beg. He looks away for a moment. Yet they aren't prepared to deal with us, too knowing all there is to know. A sour grin nudges my mouth as I nod. It's not retaliation. Stepping through the door is the truth. There is an air of deference in his eyes as he examines me. I bet you don't appear as fragile as you do, Olivia, I whisper. Had to be. But I mean it, really. I feel like I lost a part of who I am when I was here. I had a miscarriage here 3 years ago. In his arms, Daniel reassured me that we would give it another go. Now he's taking her there as well. My voice quivers briefly before returning to its normal tone. I'm returning it. Without prying, Ethan's expression softens. Sophia also desired a family. With a controlled but intense agony, he shakes his head and says, "Someday." I guess she had other priorities. The soft sound of the bay's waves outside lulls us to a peaceful slumber. Midday has passed. They won't be arriving for less than 6 hours. A photo of Daniel, seemingly unfazed, smiling at a client lunch, popped up on my phone. I seldom respond. Rather than that, I verify Ethan's files by looking for the bridge project in the public archives. Fudged safety testing, inexpensive materials. These inconsistencies scream fraud. This goes beyond a personal level now. Those who have faith in that bridge to remain intact are the focus. After observing my efforts, Ethan remarks in a quiet voice, "In your opinion, have we ever crossed a line?" Without fear, I look him in the eyes. Maybe if it were only our situation. We didn't go too far, but that bridge and those falsehoods did. Indeed, they were. There is a subtle power that grows between us as he nods. Despite our lack of friendship, we have become strong allies through the trauma of being deceived. At last, the Bay home has come to life. Within its walls, we have found the blueprint and the truth. Daniel and Sophia are giggling at themselves as they imagine they're on a romantic weekend getaway. But tomorrow, as soon as they enter that door, we will be waiting for them. The fact, though, is that it is more sharp than a knife. As 6 o'clock approaches, the cedar wall of the Chesapeake Bay mansion seem to be closing in on the inhabitants. The air is thick with stress. My name is Olivia Bennett, and as I sit here at the wood table, my pulse is pounding and my hands are steady. While staring intently at the door, Ethan Caldwell, who is across from me, has white knuckles as he holds a coffee mug. The room is set up with a bottle of red wine that Sophia loves next to printed emails, bank records, and incriminating bridge project data. In the warm glow of the amber light, 4 glistening glasses taunt the romantic retreat that Daniel and Sophia are anticipating. We're prepared. There's no way. The bay's waves gently lap at the shore. Yet on the inside, tension is high, as if a wire were about to snap. After reviewing all of the material twice, Ethan and I went silent for an hour. For his romance with Sophia Daniel has been embezzling thousands of dollars from my business. Tragically, they are connected to her company's dubious bridge project, a scheme that poses a threat to people's lives. Now it's about more than simply betrayal. It's about preventing a catastrophic event. The stillness is broken by the sound of tires grinding on gravel. Although my heart rate increases, I remain calm. As our gazes lock, Ethan gives me a little nod. An automobile door bangs and headlights flare through the windows. I feel my belly twist as laughter, lighthearted and personal, wafts in. It's someone else. With a bag in hand and his leather jacket draped over one shoulder, Daniel is the first to go out. Following closely behind Sophia carries a little present bag. Her auburn hair glistening in the evening light, and a silk scarf fluffing in her hair. Like newlyweds on a honeymoon, they're blissfully unaware and grinning. A door opens with a swing. With her laughter fading, Sophia walks in and fixes her gaze on me. The present bag slips her fingers and she freezes. As it lands, a champagne bottle tumbles out and crack it breaks. The air is thick with the pungent aroma of booze. As soon as they collide, Daniel glances upward. Upon catching sight of us, his cheeks flush. "Oliva, where are you?" He speaks with a mixture of amazement and shame as he chokes out the words. "I don't understand why you're here." My voice is light yet sharp as I get up. "Here you are, Daniel, at your weekend retreat. At our disposal, we have wine seats and the truth." I point to the table where the proof is poised like a loaded pistol. Sophia glances quickly at Ethan as her lips opens and shuts. "Listen, Ethan, this isn't what it appears to be." Already her voice is quivering with nervousness. Ethan stands tall, his stature contrasting with his icy voice. "Is that so, Sophia?" The reason being that it appears as though you have been deceiving about your conference. It's as if you have been secretly leaving with him. He gestures towards Daniel, who remains still with the luggage hanging from his wrist. Rising to his feet, Daniel's charismatic demeanor propels him ahead. "This is just a misunderstanding, Live. Listen up. Let me clarify." To what end I interrupted him, my voice clear enough to break through his deceit. "Can you tell me what happened to the $10,000 that you took from my business?" Everything for her, the hotel, the plane, the pearl necklace. I lay out a stack of receipts, each one a betrayal on the table. Maybe you could clarify why you're assisting Sophia in covering up the fraud committed by her corporation on the Annapolis Bridge. Gesturing to her chest, Sophia lets out a gasp. "What? That isn't right." Plans fly out of Ethan's hand as he smashes a file. "No way, Sophia. I am aware of the findings. Substandard steel fabricated safety inspections. It was all your approval." His voice quivers not from rage, but from the crushing weight of her treachery, which affects not just him, but also all others who have placed their faith in her. Daniel looks at us both with wide eyes. "I swear to you, Liv, I had no idea the bridge existed. All it was business." A company stepping closer, I chuckle bitterly. The money from my firm ended up in her shell account because of you. You're involved, Daniel. You're perfect. I pass him a bank statement with his signature glaring at him from across the table. As Sophia's scarf falls on the floor, she slumps into a chair. I don't feel sorry for her, even if she's crying. It's not her fault. Please, Ethan, she cries out. I had no idea it would escalate to this point. Ethan looks aside and murmurs softly as he gazes out at the bay. Sophia. I thought you said you were working late. Good night, love you, was the message you sent when you were together with him. At this point, how am I expected to feel? As if crushed under the weight of their deceit, the room goes quiet. In spite of the tempest within, I calm my hands and take up a folder. I came prepared. I repeat, my voice steady yet firm. Monetary documents, correspondence, including electronic mail. I stop allowing it to take in, even if there is a tape of your assistant. Daniel stating that there were no client meetings in Miami. The evidence points to you leading a double life, and I possess evidence of it. With a flushed face, Daniel reaches for the folder and begins to leaf through the pages. You cheated on me, huh? He loses it and drops it. Liv, this is really crazy. No, I respond, moving into his personal space while maintaining eye contact with him. Think you could deceive me for months? That's insane. Though my voice quivers, I maintain eye contact with him. Bringing her to the place where I lost our baby is insane. I had faith in you, Daniel. Plus, you discarded it. Sophia gets up, trembling in her hands as her sobbing intensify. She looks at Ethan and then at me before whispering, There's something else. I'm pregnant. The word drops like a ton of bricks. With a shocked expression on his face, Ethan freezes. As Daniel clumsily retreats, his baggage slams on the floor. His voice is hardly heard when he breathes. Are you expecting a child? With tears streaming down her face, Sophia nods. Just last week I discovered it. Her voice quivers as she turns to Ethan, interrupting her plan to inform Daniel this weekend. I am not sure whose it is. All you can hear is the sound of the waves lapping on the shore of the bay. Without uttering a word, Ethan clenches his hands and clamps his jaw. Daniel's expression is one of captivity as his eyes wander aimlessly. You mean to tell me that it could be mine? With an increasing volume, he inquires, Is it his? Please don't, Sophia says with a hint of nervousness. I beg you, Daniel, don't make things worse. At least with this, I've been forthright. The word pregnant keeps ringing in my head, and I just stand there emotionless. Just for a second, I am back here 3 years ago on the floor, grieving the loss of our kid. As he cradled me in his arms, Daniel assured me everything would be well. An entirely new chapter in his life is about to begin. Now that he is here with her, still I am unwavering. I rummage through my luggage and with a gentle thud, set a slender folder on the table. My voice remains firm as I add, This is the divorce petition, slicing through the mayhem. My attorney has confirmed all of my financial holdings. The accounts that you had access to, Daniel, have been frozen. Sophia. I look at you with icy eyes. You're done. What about your bridge fraud? Tomorrow it will be presented before the city board. The days of hiding are over. With trembling palms, Daniel fixes his gaze on the folder. Please, Liv, we can resolve this. To put it simply, I adore you. Is it love? With a quiet last voice, I move back. Keep it if this is your love, cheating, stealing, and putting her where I was broken. No, I'm not interested. Ethan talks in a calm yet honest voice. He asks, Sophia, I'm not sure what to do about this. He makes an oblique gesture towards her and the unborn kid. You are not the lady I wed, though, and I know it. No more. In her anguish, Sophia hides her face. Though I keep my distance and fix my gaze on Daniel, he reaches out to touch me. I tell them, you can either go now or stay and take a look at all the lies you've told. You must not have known me at all if you believe I will forgive you. Now that the walls of the Bay home contain the remains of 2 weddings, it feels even smaller. We look at one another and silently agree, Ethan and I. That was our purpose in coming here. Everything has changed because the truth is out there, and it is harsh and unforgiving. As I depart from the home, the Chesapeake Bay gradually disappears behind me, its wood walls reduced to a mere silhouette in the fading light, leaving my husband Daniel and his mistress Sophia Reynolds. To face the consequences of their deceit, I, Olivia Bennett, am here to show you the truth. Everything that transpired from Daniel's treachery to Sophia's pregnancy and the fake bridge project that endangered many lives has left a thick cloud in the air within my vehicle. Next to me sits Ethan Caldwell, Sophia's husband. He has his hands clasped and is gazing ahead at the road that lies ahead. We remain silent, although it holds meaning. You get the type of respect when you deal with reality honestly. Even though it was terrible, the encounter is now past. As I presented the proof, including stolen money emails and false bridge reports, I could see Daniel's charisma wane after Sophia confessed to a kid who may or may not be Ethan's. I saw no emotion in her weeping. I dropped the final frigid divorce papers on the table. I will notify the Annapolis City Board of the bridge scam tomorrow. However, I will be embarking on a journey tonight towards something fresh and personal. Breaking the quiet, Ethan speaks in a hushed voice. It was a solid move on your part, Olivia. Stayed composed. Doubtful that I could have had the chance. In my quick glimpse, I notice that his weary eyes are locked upon the dashboard light. You were competent, I tell you. It took courage to call out to Sophia on the bridge, I say, pausing before adding, what now? Is it for you? Breathing out, he massages his jaw. I am unsure. I will take charge if the baby is mine. This mess isn't the kid's fault, he says, casting his gaze out at the falling trees. Sophia and I have finished. It's not possible to construct something from falsehoods. With a nod, I clamp down harder on the wheel. Very much so. There is no way that Daniel will be a part of my future. The words are more genuine and less heavy than I had anticipated. It has been some time since he was. Their 12-year relationship, of which 6 were married, is coming to an end, but I refuse to break. My identity is changing as I mold and transform. In downtown Annapolis, we pull up at a little cafe where the aroma of fried onions wafts through the air, accompanied by neon lights. Ethan claims that we owe it to ourselves to get coffee. Therefore, he's being somewhat demanding. To perk myself up, I get a cherry pie, just the right amount of tartness. While we sit at a booth, the outer world becomes increasingly dark. Does the idea of beginning anew ever occur to you? While gently chugging his coffee, he inquires. Every day, I remark as I slice into the homemade pie. The CFO grind is over for me. My former self no longer inhabits boardrooms and late-night activities. I stop a smile teasing my lips. When I was in college, I used to paint, primarily landscapes. A sunset over the Chesapeake Bay. I'm considering giving it another go. A little smile appears in Ethan's eyes as he softens. You say I would definitely purchase one. Even though he's always wanted to be an artist, he says, bridges pay better. He laughs and then gets serious. Olivia, you are deserving of that. You own your life. His speech is comforting, reassuring, and firmly planted. Although we aren't precisely pals, we are something two individuals who endured hell and emerged unscathed. We shake hands after finishing our coffee and paying the bill. His grasp is solid. He promises to be available via phone call. I believe we have more conversation to have. Deal. I declare with conviction. For the first time in months, I get a sense of liberation as I drive home alone, feeling the salt air of the bay cling to my hair. As time goes on, everything starts to fit together. Once I turn in Ethan's paperwork and my financial records, the city board will begin looking into the bridge project that Harbor Construction is working on. Litigation threatens Sophia's business as a word gets out about defective supplies and fraudulent testing. As a result of his involvement, Daniel's reputation has taken a beating for allegedly funneling payments. Now that he has no major clients and only desk work at his marketing agency, he feels marginalized. He gives up on challenging the divorce. I remove all ties to him after purchasing the Bay home and selling it at a tidy profit. He lied to me, and now the money is mine. I relocate to Ocean City, where I will live in a modest seaside home made of white clapboard with a sunrise-facing porch. There will be no more 16-hour days or Annapolis skyscrapers. I decided to leave my position as Chief Financial Officer and launch Bennett Financial, a consulting service that assists women going through a divorce and trying to put their lives back together. I show them how to handle assets and how to stand firm, not like an objective expert, but as someone who has been there. I understand why they have faith in me. I know what it's like to be weak and terrified because I've been there. With my paint strewn about my easel rests on the porch. Even though I'm out of practice, every stroke is like taking a piece of myself back. All the pinks and golds of a Chesapeake sunset come to life on my painting. Although I may not be Picasso, I am painting for my own enjoyment, not for the approval of others. You are enough, the ocean says, with its constant murmur. Sometimes Ethan would text and inform people on his life. Sophia's keeping the baby, he writes one day. I am a healthy girl. The caption reads, I'm figuring it out. A picture of a little hand wrapped around a finger and a kind, optimistic expression appears. I have no idea if he is serious about getting back together with Sophia, but he is making an effort. She is stunning, I say in response. We keep our conversations brief and to the point, saying things like, Happy Thanksgiving, or sharing a link to a beach home that makes him think of Chesapeake. Just understanding no labels. While my most recent painting dries on the porch, I find myself sipping a warm mug of coffee one morning. I remember sitting in that dim room staring at Daniel's deceit, but now I hear the constant crashing of waves and know that lady isn't me. Not me, the one who put her faith in love to solve everything. I am Olivia, a 36-year-old artist consultant and lifelong learner. For me, Daniel represented the past and taught me what love isn't. He destroyed the foundational principles of trust, respect, and honesty. I no longer despise him, no need on my part. He has shrunk to the size of a shadow that cannot touch me. Thanks to my aggressive attorney and solid proof, my divorce was concluded quickly after claiming my share, selling the Bay house, and starting again. I am here. Both Sophia's business and Daniel's career took a nosedive when they came under investigation. Their time has come. My tranquility is being constructed. My face gets warmer as the sun rises. I take a paintbrush, dip it in red, and unabashedly apply a streak on the canvas, a bold slash. Let me tell you my tale, not his. I refuse to flee from suffering. I'm working my way through it color by color. Listening to the sea's song, I feel at peace, knowing that this is my destiny. As the sun sets behind Ocean City, the water takes on a rose and amber tone. Standing on my veranda with a mug of steaming tea, I am Olivia Bennett. The waves are murmuring truths that I have battled for. Not long ago, I was a devastated wife, gazing at an email that broke my heart. Daniel's infidelity with Sophia Reynolds, his theft from my business, and their web of falsehoods surrounding a phony bridge project. In our Chesapeake Bay home, I confronted them, exposed their lies, and ultimately obtained a divorce and the determination to start again. In my new existence, I have discovered something more powerful than suffering myself. This isn't only my narrative. To anybody who has ever been knocked down, but mustered the will to get back up here, is a road plan. Although betrayal is devastating, it should not define you. Love without honesty is like a mansion built on sand. As I learned from Daniel's lies sneaking off with Sophia, and stealing millions to fuel their affair, it gives way even when hit by a little wave. Ignoring the late hours, the locked phone, and the icy looks, I believed in him for 12 years. Love is enough, I persuaded myself. But it isn't. The 3 pillars of a strong foundation are trust, respect, and honesty. You will be left in the rain, perplexed as to why you are saturated if you do not have them. So what was my initial lesson? Get the truth from yourself and other people. You shouldn't put your heart into someone who tries to hide it. It all begins with liking yourself. I might have allowed my anger fester after the meeting and allowed Daniel's treachery to poison me. I went with my own self-preservation instead. My life wasn't my own, and I escaped from my position as Chief Financial Officer and all of its daily meetings. Bennett Financial was founded by me in Ocean City, and I assist women going through divorce in reclaiming their value, both monetarily and in terms of the strength they possess. I grabbed a paintbrush and let the chaotic, uniquely mine sunsets over the Chesapeake Bay break forth onto painting. Sitting in quiet listening to the waves, I realized, I am enough. You don't need another person to fill you up. To me, you represent the story's most vibrant hues and profound plot points. Do everything you need to do to love yourself ferociously first. Acting for other people makes suffering worthwhile. It wasn't only about bringing Daniel and Sophia to justice that we uncovered their bridge scam. It was about the routine passage of the bridge, with its users oblivious to the possibility of its failure. Together with Ethan, we presented the facts to the city board, averting an impending catastrophe. Making the decision to stand up for both myself and complete strangers provided purpose to my pain. Anger may serve as a catalyst, an impetus to defend, to construct, to rectify. Try to see beyond your injuries. Who else may benefit from your power? Healing resides there. To forgive is not to forget. Despite Daniel's best efforts, I can't forgive him. Despite his pleading and professed love for me, he brought another lady to console me at the sight of our child's death. Love, however, does not lie, steal, or transport. I also don't despise him. Like letting go of a burden that was never really mine, I released him. No one else deserves your forgiveness but you. It's deciding to move on without looking back, to choose peace over poison. Daniel is fading from my memory day by day. Where do I go from here? It's my porch, my paintbrush, and my life that I've taken possession of. In my opinion, suffering serves as a teacher, not a prisoner. We are encouraged to be our own heroes and to seek freedom in the United States. You can lose everything and still construct something better. That is my story's evidence. Daniel wasn't the final objective. He was a stepping stone that revealed my inner fortitude. It's unclear if Ethan is now navigating parenthood with Sophia or not. Occasionally, we exchange brief texts such as, "Happy New Year," or a picture of his daughter's little hand. Our needs are modest. Together we endured the flames, and that is all that matters. That spark, that opportunity to soar and create your own sunset is also yours. So tell me the truth. Is love the illusion you're clinging to? Do you find the unknown to be too daunting to walk away from? My world came crashing down the moment I stared at an email. The choice was mine. Stand, dig, or face the filth. Do that as well. You are not destroyed by betrayal. If you allow it, it starts with you. Conceal your truth tightly and use it to construct something that no one can steal from you. You have this, the ocean is still singing. What would you do in this situation? Would you choose to confront the email and lie as I did? Or would you attempt to forgive and remain? Post your honest and unfiltered opinions down here. Someone has to hear your tale, so don't keep it to yourself. And if you were moved, please click the follow button. There are further stories of breaking, building, and being that stem from this. We should continue on this path all at once,